Well, Paul, a 2-1 defeat in the end. What are your thoughts straight out of the dressing room?
Obviously, tad frustrated, a little bit angry, and a little bit proud. Really, I thought we didn't start the game well. We didn't get a foot on the ball at all first half, and then once we got into it, and obviously we haven't come here to draw, we haven't come here to lose. Obviously, we come here to win. We put 2 up top. I don't think many teams will come here and play 2 up top because they're a possession-based team, but thought we could hurt them, and then once we'd settled into the game we did, but we can't let the opposition start like that. And then obviously to get pegged back, which I'm disappointed with the goal because it came from a simple throw in across, which we've been talking about, so that's disappointing. But then the reaction second half was really good, and I thought the game was going to be on a knife's edge. I mean, obviously it looks a bad injury with Roone, so that's pretty heartbreaking. Yes, that's sad. And then I thought second half it just looked, both teams were a little bit edgy. Both teams are, probably fancy themselves to be up and thereabouts. And then misplaced back pass, touch, whatever it was, led to a sending off. And obviously that's fundamentally a change to the game. And from then onwards, we just have to sit in and try and get one on an ugly free kick or long throw, just to try and get a goal. And in fairness, the character the lad showed was excellent. And I'm giving you every detail in one hit here, but and then we conceded a deflected goal, but I thought the lads defended really well, and are heartbroken that they've lost, but but that's no excuse. I just didn't think we had enough of our own character in the first half an hour, and there was parts when we were good, and even right at the end there when we'd worked it really well, and so it's not criticism. If Colo would have just put it along the deck, I think JJ would have had a tap in from 6 yards out, and it would have absolutely been rapturous scenes, because to get a draw when you're down to 10 men against a heavily possession team would have been a good point. But so overall, you won't have to ask me another question, will you? Overall, I'm really proud of the lads' efforts, but I'm also disappointed that we didn't play with enough character early on. It's something, obviously, we're struggling in the middle of the park a little bit. Connor, Corey, T was absolutely chugging, but they're the only 3 midfielders we got fit. Sibs obviously got injured Tomo got injured this week, so we were very, very limited in the middle of the park. But we now get 2 weeks to, get everyone back, get Elliot up to speed. Sibs is training next week, and hopefully Birdie will be back in a couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden, I've gone from having no options in the middle to having plenty, and that's what we need. We need to have, be able to change the lads who put a lot of work in. So the strikers, the midfielders, you need to be able to change them and be able to rotate them. And when everyone gets back fit, it'll be good for us.
I don't think I do need to ask you another question, but I've got a couple. Was it another example of those games where they're just decided by those finest of moments? Again, every game you've lost has been by the odd goal so far. Yeah,
it's frustrating, but I don't think we have a team that should lose by the smallest of margins. So that's not a... it's not an excuse or an acceptance. I just think we should play with a character that comes and tries to throttle the games really and try and win. And like I said, we lost by a deflected shot. Obviously our keeper getting sent off is a massive blow. And then you're trying to work out what to do regarding the team, because we're trying to inject energy into the team, and then you're thinking, do you take off, like Waggy's our goal threat, take Wash off for the penalty? Do you take Nat off? Is he fatiguing? Can he keep going? So there's loads of decisions going through your head, and I just thought it would end up being a 10-minute game at the end, where maybe a set piece. And I still thought we had a real good shout for a penalty claim on Sonny, which wasn't given, unfortunately. And if you're 2-1 away from home down to 10 men, you've got to get something. You need something to go your way, and I just don't think we possibly had a little bit of lady luck today. But I'm really pleased with the character the lad showed, and unfortunately, I stand here on the back of a defeat.
You mentioned Jake Rooney there. Clearly, he'll need to be scanned, but as you mentioned, it doesn't look great.
No, just his reaction and everything, I think, is a pretty severe knee injury. I don't obviously know. I'm just, being led by my physios, but it does look a bad one.
Which is a shame for him, because he's had the opportunity in the last couple of games. Elliot Embleton came in yesterday. How pleased are you to get him in? He's clearly someone that's got decent experience in League One and made an impact too.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, if I could just answer the Jake one, it's heartbreaking for him, let alone disappointing for him. He's got in the team, done really well, really fit, but to be out for a period of time, and I might be overdressing it, he might not be, but it looks like he is. It's tough, and it's tough being a young pro when you're trying to make your way and you got in and then you come out. The same with Tomo really last week, so I'm heartbroken for Runes, to be fair, so I'll try and phone him in a bit. In regards to Elliot, yeah, great. Obviously we need goals from midfield, we need, legs in midfield, and obviously with him and missing Birdie, Sibbs, Tomo, that's a lot of good players that we're just missing in the middle of the team to help. Obviously Corey and Connor are excellent, but I'm just saying they can't ask them to play 90 minutes every single week. So yes, I'm really pleased that Elliot's joined us. He obviously can score goals, had promotions, done really well at Sunderland, and I got him highly recommended when I spoke to my colleague who works up there, my mate. So yeah, it could be a really good fit, and we just have to try and get him fit next week. I mean, that's the nice thing, we've now got an international break, which we definitely need. It will allow us to lick our wounds for a couple of days and then start picking the lads up, get the injured lads back, and it will give us a lot more options for when we start post-break. So in that respect, good. And it sounds a bit cheesy, but thanks for the fans for clapping the lads off. I think they can appreciate their efforts, but I just thought we were on the and I don't like making excuses, but I didn't feel like we had many decisions our way. Even the penalty we got, we'd put in the net and he still blew for a penalty, which is unheard of. So yeah, so on the whole, look, it's a bad day because we've lost. There's some really good elements that I liked, and there's things that obviously, like every game, you need to work on.
And just lastly, you mentioned the 2-week break there. Is it a combination of rest, recovery, a bit of work, time in the classroom as well? A bit of everything, really?
Yeah, a little bit of, I've asked the lads to have a bit of soul searching tonight because, I'm not in football to lose football games. So, and next week it will allow us to get, like JJ up to speed. I thought JJ looked good when he came on. JJ up to speed, Elliot up to speed, obviously. Get Tom Barkhausen up to speed, and these are all good players. When they're fully fit, make us a much bigger force. And at the moment we're just sort of just on the edge of not disaster, that's extreme, but on the edge of our squad. So that will give us time, obviously reset and work out what we want to do. If we want to be champions or promoted, our level of performances have got to be more consistent.